Okay, we're back in session 6 here, and this is Jonah, Nineveh, and we're into Nahum, because Nahum is written to Nineveh, and we covered how Nineveh is a veiled reference to the United States. And if you haven't picked up on the other first session, you probably should before you go into here. I explain all that. And we are down in chapter 1, verse 14, where he just got done telling us that I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Yeah, this is if you can't figure out that we're so far away from keeping His commandments, and that this is a evil generation, we've legalized all the great abominations. The greatest one being the last one. Um, you can listen to that over there, and I did it on Daniel 18 or Daniel 8. Sorry. Okay, 1:15. Chapter 1, verse 15. Behold upon the mountains the feet of him that brings good tidings, that publishes peace. O Yehuda, or Judah, keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through you. He is utterly cut off. He's going to cut off the wicked. We're not talking about other people and enemies. He's talking about his people. He says, I'm going to destroy my people. I'm going to destroy the sinners out of my people. That's in Amos 8 and 9. You'll find that. Amos chapter 8 and 9. And that's what this is talking about when he says keep the solemn feasts. Christians and Catholics don't keep the solemn feasts, right? I mean, do they keep Passover and kill a lamb on Passover like he told them? No. No, they keep fertility goddess day. Do Jews or Messianics keep Passover? No, they keep Seder meals, having a cut lamb bone shank roast, just to mock him, I guess, to snub him. He tells you can't break a bone thereof. And they do it on a different day. And yet perform thy vows. This is exactly what we just heard back in Jonah. Back in Jonah here, we just heard, perform thy vows. Remember that? In 1, 8, and 9, they that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy. This is the prayer of Jonah. But I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving. I will pay that I have vowed. Salvation is of Yahuwah. Not of the Lord, Baal, or of Jesus, wrong name. It's Yahushua. Its salvation is of Yahuwah. That's what it's telling you here. It's very critical. I am and none else besides me. That's what he tells you. Well, I will pay that I have vowed. We covered that. I won't cover the whole thing, but you vow to keep his commandments. And go back in the first few sessions. Well, this is talking about the exact same thing. Exact same thing. I will pay that I have vowed. Salvation is of Yahuwah. And going on, he tells us here, he that, 2:1, he that dashes in pieces has come up before thy face. Keep the munition, watch the way, make thy loins strong, fortify thy power mightily. For Yahuwah has turned away the excellency of Jacob, as the excellency of Israel. For emptiers have emptied them out, and marred their vine branches. We're going to cover this some more about emptying us out. They're going to clean this place out. You're not going to be able to believe it. No time like it since creation till this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, no flesh should be saved alive. That's what we have coming. That's what's just around the corner here. We're on the cusp of it. The excellency of Jacob, this is the excellency like the excellency of the Chaldees is described in Isaiah and in Jeremiah. The excellency, and this is the excellency here, isn't it? Oh, if you go anywhere else in the world, you come back here and say, boy, this is the excellency. Well, it's going to go real bad here real shortly. 2, 3, or good, depending on your perspective. The shield of his mighty men is made red. The valiant men are in scarlet. The chariots with flaming torches in the day of his preparation. The fir tree shall be shaken, terribly shaken. The chariots shall rage in the streets. They shall jostle one against another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like lightnings. Well, this chariots raging in the streets, what do you think that is? Cars, right. I had a guy who didn't like it when I said that before. But it's what it sounds like to me. And if you see in verse 3 too, it talks about the same thing. The noise of the whip, the noise of the rattling of wheels and prancing of horses, the jumping of chariots. Isaiah 2:7, which is also about us, end time house of Israel, and our great destruction, and the haughty, stiff-necked Americans and all the rest of it. And 2:7 says there's no end of their chariots. Isaiah 2:7. Micah 5:10, he's going to destroy all their chariots. Yeah, he's talking about our cars. There's no end to our automobiles. America and automobiles kind of goes hand in hand together, doesn't it? And yeah, you know, there's no other country in the world that has so many per capita, per person. And I mean by a long shot. By a long shot. If you ever travel much, you'll find out. Going on. 5, he shall recount, this is chapter 2, verse 5 of Nahum. He shall recount his worthies, they shall stumble in their walk, they shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. The gates of the river shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved. I'm kind of thinking that that palace down there, that cat house on the Potomac, might get dissolved. And Huzzab, that's who stands firm, shall be led away captive. She shall be brought up, and her maid shall lead her as the voice of doves, tabbering on their breasts, or beating upon their breasts. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. Oh man, that's the way it's going to be too. When they nuke us in 1 hour, boy, none shall look back. Take you the spoil of silver, take you the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store and glory of all the pleasant furniture. If that doesn't describe America, I don't know what they're... When those Russians come through here, they're just going to be astonished at how much trinkets and stuff that Americans have. Cars and gold and silver and firearms and, the silverware, in the big posh houses and up in Bellwood Estates and all that. Oh my goodness, they won't be able to carry it on if your Caterpillar tractors and John Deeres and you name it, Kubotas coming out their ears. They won't know what to do with it all. In fact, that's what it says in Isaiah 33:1. Woe unto you that spoilest! When you cease to spoil, you shall be spoiled. He's talking about America. We've been spoiling a lot of countries for a long time. We're over there in Afghanistan now. I was just reading the news today. 17 years we've been bombing the crap out of those poor people. And fighting and fighting and fighting with them, and we're taking their poppy seeds and their oil. We got that pipeline going and all the rest of it. Yeah, and Libya, we got the same thing. We got his gold, and he's gone, and now he's not selling that oil for anything but dollars now, right? And Jeremiah 51:56, the spoiler has come up upon Babylon. That's Jeremiah 15:51 about the daughter of Babylon. Yeah, the spoiler. They're going to be spoiling us. I mean, they're just going to avoid the radiation for a little while, and the rest of it, they won't have enough ships to haul the stuff away. They'll be calling in ships from around the world to haul this stuff away. Verse 10, she is empty and void without and waste. The heart melts, the knees smite together. This is when you're, doing what in your pants. Ugh. Much pain is in all loins, and faces of all them gather blackness. Oh, man. Joel 2:6 has the same story. All faces gather blackness. Joel 2:6. And read Joel. Joel's telling you the same thing. Those clouds, pillars of smoke and fire and blood mingle with fire. Joel's describing the same thing. Nuclear bombs going off. The blood of people flying and getting burned up. That's Isaiah 21:6 has the same thing. Pangs as of a woman in travail. You'll be grabbing your groin going, oh, like a woman having a baby. As you see that nuclear cloud going off and rolling your way. Jeremiah 30 verse 6 covers the same thing too. Exact same thing. Read through these. This story, it's just like corroborating all the other stories. It's the same story. This isn't about some ancient people, Nineveh. It's about what it says right there, the excellency of Jacob at this end time. Verse 11, where is the dwelling of the lions and the feeding place of the young lions? Where the old lion walked, and the lions whelp, and none made them afraid. Where a lion's whelp? The lion is a symbol of Great Britain, the tribe of Manasseh. And they're over there, and the whelps are Canada, us, Australia. These are all lions' whelps. We all came from there. And going on, the lion did tear in pieces enough for his whelps, and strangled his lioness for his lionesses, and filled the holes of the prey. That gives you an idea who's behind all this. If you got ears to hear, you can listen to some of my other talks. And his dens with ravin. 13, behold, I'm against you, says Yahuwah of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, that's your cars, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off the prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery, the prey departs not. This is America to a T, and if you don't think so, you must be just so darn deceived you can't see straight. If you have any kind of eyes to see, you can't figure out that we're building this. In fact, Habakkuk 2:12 says, "Woe to him that builds his town with blood." What do you think we're doing when we go over there and attack Iraq 2 and 3 times because they got weapons of mass destruction? Oh no, we didn't find. Oh, because we got to get the boogeyman, Saddam. Oh, nah, he's already gone. We're still bombing him. Let's see what's next. We got to make the world safe for democracy. They never want to tell you the truth, kind of like a preacher. They never want to tell you the truth, and certainly not the whole truth. And they're building it with blood. Where do you think that cheap oil is coming from and forcing everybody to use your dollars that they print? Yeah, they got to have a demand for it, so on and on it goes. Whew. Well, this bloody city is described in Ezekiel 24:6. It's describing us. Ezekiel 22:2, 22 verse 2. And in Zephaniah again, 3:1-3, calls us the oppressing city. This is a really oppressing people. I mean, take a look at stealing 2 million children a year out of homes. How many countries do we got to go over and attack and whatnot? Now we're really turning the screws on everybody. You're gonna take our tariffs and all that and give us even more of your money, even though we're printing it over here and we're getting one up on you all the time anyway. Man, the lies and robbery are just so thick, and if you've been keeping these commandments around these people, you'll find out they kind of turn on you. Go on down to church and start trying to keep all these holy days he just got telling you to keep. Start trying to kill a lamb in your backyard like he told you. And start keeping unleavened bread instead of Lent. Or try to tell your wife you're not going to do Christmas. We're going to do Feast of Tabernacles and dwell in tents for 7 days. Oh boy. Good luck with that, huh? Well, going on. I get far afield. 3:2. The noise of a whip, the noise of chariots and the wheels. Here's the jumping of chariots in verse 2. No end to their chariots. Isaiah 2:7. The horseman lifts up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, a great number of carcasses. There is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Whew. Whew. This is America he's talking about. Can you imagine? In your big city nearby, they're going to be stumbling upon the corpses. There's so many. And this isn't just here. In Isaiah 5:25, that same section referencing the same thing, it says their carcasses shall be thrown in the street. Jeremiah 31:40, a wide valley of dead bodies. Jeremiah 31:40. Jeremiah 19:7. 33:5, dead bodies in all places. Amos 8:3, many dead bodies in every place. Amos 8:3, that's at 8 and 9, where he's going to destroy the sinners out of his people. Many dead bodies in every place. I don't think we have a clue how bad this is going to be, but if he's out to destroy all the sinners out of his people, and he says, I'm going to make a speedy riddance of them, this is heavy to contemplate. And man, it's going to sneak right up on them in one day. Well, we'll pick it up there next time. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, we're back in session 6 here, and this is Jonah, Nineveh, and we're into Nahum, because Nahum is written to Nineveh, and we covered how Nineveh is